last week's episode, we talked about your resume as being one of the most important tools in your job hunting toolbox. And there are several basic different types of resumes for you to choose from depending on your personal circumstances. There are chronological, functional, combination, or targeted resume formats. You should choose the right resume format for you by reflecting on your needs and your particular vocational and educational strengths, and compose the resume to highlight them, obviously. The first type of resume we'll look at is the chronological resume. It's the most common amongst resume formats. It lists your objective first, followed by your job experience, education, and other skills or interests. When choosing this type of resume format, start by listing your work history with your most recent position first. Your former jobs should then be listed in reverse chronological order. Employers typically prefer this type of resume because it's easy to see what jobs you have held and when you've worked at them. Here's a tip. This type of resume works well for those who have a strong, solid work history. If not, here are a couple of other alternatives. The functional resume. It begins with an objective and subsequently focuses on a person's specialized skills over their education and job history. The functional resume does not follow a chronological order and leaves out the names of employers, educational history, and all dates. This type of resume is best for people who have little to no job history, such as recent college graduates, or for those who are just starting a career. As this type of resume focuses on your skills, abilities, and experience, it's used most often by people who are changing careers or who have gaps in their employment history. Yet another type of resume is a combination resume. It combines the chronological and functional formats and typically starts with a career synopsis that outlines your objective, volunteer work, and special skills or accomplishments. So, list your skills and experience first, and then your work history. With this type of resume, you can highlight the skills you have that are relevant to the job you're applying for, and also provide the chronological work history that employers tend to prefer. We already talked about the targeted resume in episode 8. Just to recap, a targeted resume is one that is customized so that it specifically highlights the experience and skills you have that are relevant to the job you are applying for. It definitely takes more work to write a targeted resume for a specific job than to just apply with your existing resume. However, as I said in episode 8, it's well worth the effort, especially when applying for jobs that are a perfect match for your qualifications and experience. Then there's a mini resume. It contains a brief summary of your career highlights and qualifications. It can be a useful tool for networking purposes or shared upon request from a prospective employer or reference writer who may want an overview of your accomplishments rather than a full-length resume. In short, only you know what format is best for you given your particular set of circumstances. However, here's a few tips when it comes to resumes. Use a targeted resume when applying for a specific job. It really is well worth the effort. Keep an up-to-date mini resume handy for just in case, and have a long or formal up-to-date resume on hand, just as well as a shorter version of the same in case you're asked for no more than a one-pager. The next thing to think about is the appearance of your resume. So,